English Reader, Class 7th. Chapter 10, No Room for a Leopard. The narrator first saw the leopard while crossing a stream at the bottom of a hill. The ravine there stayed shadowed for most of the day, which encouraged birds and animals to come out even in daylight. Since very few people passed that way, the ravine had turned into a small safe haven for wildlife, undisturbed by human activity. Below the narrator's cottage lay a forest of oak, maple, and Himalayan rhododendron. A narrow path wound down through the trees to a grassy verge fringed with wild dog roses, where a stream tumbled over smooth pebbles nearby. This peaceful, green setting formed the everyday backdrop of the narrator's walks. Almost every morning, the narrator heard a barking deer's cry and spotted pine martens and a red fox. He also recognized bear footprints in the area. Since he never came to take anything from the jungle, the birds and animals gradually lost their fear of him and stopped being disturbed by his presence. Initially, the langurs living in the oak and rhododendron trees would leap away in alarm whenever the narrator approached. Over time, however, they grew used to him and simply watched with curiosity as they fed on tender oak shoots, showing how patient, non-threatening behavior can build trust with wild animals. One evening, the langurs chattered anxiously and pebbles rattled down the hillside, a warning of danger. Looking up, the narrator saw an orange-gold leopard poised on a rock about 20 feet above him, facing the ravine. Sensing his presence, it turned and looked down, seeming puzzled rather than aggressive. To steady his nerves, the narrator clapped his hands sharply. The leopard sprang silently into the thickets, disturbed mid-hunt. Soon after, he heard the frightened, quickening cry of a barking deer fleeing through the forest, showing that the leopard's hunt for food was still on despite the interruption. The narrator notes that leopards, like other big cats, are nearing extinction in India, making it surprising to find one so close to Missouri. He guesses that deforestation in the surrounding hills had pushed deer into this green valley, drawing the leopard there in search of prey. Weeks passed before the narrator saw the leopard again, though he often sensed it nearby. Once, returning home late, he saw two bright eyes watching him from a thicket and froze in fear. The eyes then moved away. They turned out to belong only to fireflies, not the leopard. The narrator found the partly eaten remains of a barking deer and wondered why the leopard hadn't hidden them as usual. He concluded the leopard must have been disturbed while eating, hinting that other humans, later revealed to be hunters, were already active in the forest. Climbing the hill, the narrator met hunters who asked if he had seen a leopard. He said he hadn't, though he had. The hunters had found the deer's carcass and the leopard's pug marks, and kept returning, firing their guns almost every evening. Soon, birds grew scarce and the langurs moved away. One day the narrator climbed Perai Tiba, a bare, scrub-covered hill with no path, forcing him to scramble up using rocks and roots. At the top lay a windswept plateau with pine trees and the crumbling ruins of early settlers, now overgrown with weeds, sorrel, dandelion, and nettles. Walking through the roofless ruins, the narrator was struck by an almost deafening silence. He then noticed a strong feline smell growing stronger near a low, cave-like passage formed by collapsed rafters. He paused, wondering if he had stumbled upon the leopard's resting place after a night's hunt. The narrator chose not to venture further into the dark passage, seeking neither contact nor another glimpse of the leopard. He liked to believe the leopard recognized him as unarmed and friendly, and had acknowledged his visit by simply ignoring him, a quiet, mutual trust between man and animal. The next day, hunters came up the path shouting and beating drums, carrying the leopard's lifeless body slung from a bamboo pole, shot in the neck and head. They proudly called it a fine specimen. The narrator quietly agreed it had been a beautiful leopard, masking his sorrow at its death. Walking home through an unusually silent forest, the narrator felt the birds and animals sensed that their trust had been betrayed by humans. He recalled a line from a D.H. Lawrence poem, "There was room in the world for a mountain lion and me," reflecting on humanity's failure to coexist with wildlife.